Patty, you want to do play-by-play? Color? You got a preference?
Oh, I got color.
All right, awesome.
But I'll also probably interject with some play-by-play. I honestly think it's going to be nothing more than an hour of you and I talking over each other.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
There's not the natural pauses in baseball that there are.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that, I think somebody on the board's had it right. You're going to be the Vin Scully, I'm going to be the Bob Uecker. Or possibly the Harry Carey.
Yeah. Post-game brought to you by, I don't know,
Come here,
the hell with it!
Oh, yeah, okay, just let us know when to start.
Yeah. You can hear some Harry Carey. Folks, welcome to Best of the West 2014. This is your final. Shockwave from Maryland, Sofa King from Los Angeles, California.
Shockwave got here by going 4-0 in pool play and positively rolling through the first 2 rounds of a limb. Sofa got here by going 2-2 in pool play, but then managed to put things back together for the elimination round, getting by Brew Crew and Crooked Roosters. Shockwave getting through Gargoyles and Riot. And looks like the game is about to start under Justin Dice Anderson as our home plate ump. Joe Hubbard up to first.
First pitch from Tremaine Goddard, the Shockwave pitcher, in there for strike 1.
For the betting public, the line is Shockwave -3. If anybody wants to.
Short bunt, slipped up by the catcher.
JJ.
Diving throw made to first base. First base barely slipped it up in time to get Hubbard out at first.
JJ, the number 2 kicker for Shockwave, so good at catcher. Low to the ground, great extension, explosive velocity off those knees. That's a tough out, and they got him.
Brian Murph from Sofa, the number 2 kicker, takes a strike.
Good try, Joe. Good try.
Tremaine Goddard, walk 3 on the dish and still dealing. Here's Goddard's 0-1, and it's a 1 bouncer outside for ball 1.
In otherwise difficult field conditions at this Long Beach park, seem to have picked the best.
Nice.
Called
This
foul.
ball does not get in fair.
Right, that's a great one, Ryan.
Ryan will have to try it again. It's one's across.
Hell of a bunt by Murph, but just not quite in time.
He was pitched by Goddard on the inside, but misses. 2-1-1.
Oh, yeah.
And Murph has to push it to the side, and behind it, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 fouls. The Shockwave team is fast. They are powerful. They had a rough morning, but unlike Sofa, were able to breeze through it 4-0.
And they seem to be enjoying themselves. Second base can't stop dancing for Shockwave.
Yeah. Shockwave's having a good time. Their first trip to the West Coast. Nice
Worm burner!
Changes strategies.
Slips one in between the pitcher and the crasher, fielded by shortstop, and safe at first. 1 out. Here comes Drew Thomas, number 3 kicker for Sofa, up to the plate.
So here's Goddard with the first pitch. Inside out pitch. Hits the inside corner for strike 1. The Sofa kickers may have just taken a hint from Murph, may try to use that speed from Goddard to go back up the middle.
Need a little closer, Joe. Drew.
Tremaine also getting very good movement on the grass, cutting from right to left, as you are the kicker, in really a pretty solid curve. So, again, taking advantage of the best field of grass here at Marina Vista Park in Long Beach.
And nice change-up pitch. You see that backspin on Goddard, and it still comes in hot. Great pitch there.
Would you call that change-up intentional or not?
I don't think so. That ball's gone up right. Tough
Slipped up
one.
by the crasher, fired to 1.
Nice play.
Thomas out at first. Murph held up at second. 2 outs. Number 4 kicker for Sofa. Coming up now.
2 down, 2 down.
Not quite sure who it is. I believe it's Kevin Campbell. Oh no, I'm sorry. It is Jimmy. Jimmy Lansing coming up, number 4 kicker for Sofa. Runner on second, 2 outs. Got to be thinking Jimmy's going to be trying to look far with this one.
Let's see if they follow Murph's blueprint. Again, just take the speed off of Goddard's ball and come right back up the middle with it. Here's the first pitch, and it 1 bounces the plate for ball 1. Nice play also by Isley. So long there at Charger, and he makes a lot of plays look easy. Here's the next pitch by Goddard. Misses substantially outside, inside rather.
Shockwave defending against the kick by swapping first base and right field.
Yeah, that's going to give them that 3rd male fielder in the outfield. Sofa trying to, or you may see them try to take the run as opposed to load up the bases. Good opportunity here with scoring.
Go at him. 1 down, 4.
And Goddard misses outside and walks Jimmy. Not too much harm done.
Almost seems like one of those unintentional intentional walks to create forces at all three bags, 1, 2, and 3. Number 5 kicker for SoFa, Kevin Campbell, up to the plate.
And here's Goddard's first pitch. It is right over the plate for strike 1.
Rare straight ball from Tremaine today. Not quite a duffer, but pretty damn close.
Pretty close. He's an excellent. Got
Campbell with the behind on the kick ends up pumping it on a nice roll up the first base line in foul territory.
And you see Goddard's delivery has so much on it, but has that backspin. So a lot of kickers fooled by that movement off the first bounce. Changes speeds because of that backspin.
Stays low. Not a lot of bounce on his pitch either. It really kind of sticks to the ground and tends to move around however he wants it to move.
Yeah. Here's the next pitch by Mach 3. That one a bouncer off speed. Cerebral pitch from Goddard, changes speed. And a called strike.
There's the shot to center field, who picks it up easily.
And the side retired, so SoFa was a little bit of noise, but they failed to put a run on the board. No scores moved to the bottom of the first. SoFa had a tough morning. Losses to Brew Crew Cartel, lost to Gordon Bombay.
Hey, I remember that game. That was a good game.
Patty Cullen remembers that one, a good game for his squad, and SoFa manages to get it back together and squeak into a limbs with a 2-on-2.
Ben's on the mound. It looks like we've got a double crash situation from Kevin Campbell on the outside, Joe Hubbard on the inside crash. We've got Ryan Corsi at first base, Ben's pitching, and Elliott behind the plate as catcher. For those who can see on the camera, off in the distance we see the ocean, which is a gorgeous view here in Long Beach, which is also very useful for us, Shane, as we're looking out. If the earthquake hits and we do get a tsunami, you and I are going to get to see it first. My car is right behind us, so we'll be able to get in the car and get the hell out of here while all the rest of these jokers are going to be playing kickball.
That is right. They got the awesome view, the awesome escape plan. We've been at Marina Vista Park since Best of the West #1, and it's a beautiful backdrop here.
Let us not forget that we've been at the park today since about 7 in the morning. Due to the fact that there are no lights in this field, we had to start early so that this finals game isn't at risk of going to dark.
So it's pitcher on pitcher to lead off the bottom of the first. David Vins against Mach 3, Tremaine Goddard, and the first pitch from Vins, a strike. We'll see heat from Vins. It is low. It comes in very, very fast and has some deceptive slide spin at the end.
Benz is also very good at catching on his second bounce one of the corners, which frequently pops in for a strike, so you've got to defend against it, but it also makes for a very, very difficult kick to bunt up the third base side.
Here's Benz with the 0-1-1, and Goddard gets to it. It's fast. Great decision by Allen. You can't do that with Mach 3 speed. SoFa's got to commit to that early, but many have tried. Few have succeeded. Goddard, the leadoff man, on board.
Timmy can edit that part out. Ooh, nice.
That'll bring up JJ, the very speedy, very talented catcher who takes second for Shockwave.
Felt like a little.
Go ahead.
Oh, so it felt like a little bit of a traffic issue between catcher and crashes on that one, but they still made the play quickly, but as you said, not quick enough to get Goddard. Catching that left side corner with the signature pitch. Benz goes up 1 strike in the count.
Here's Benz, and out in the top 3 is huge. Here's the 0-1. This one off speed and off of JJ's off it for foul #1.
Let's go, Jay.
Counts 0-1-1. Leadoff man still on first. Double crasher still coming in for SoFa.
We'll see SoFa use that double crasher and sometimes even an opposite side crasher option very frequently from SoFa, both in the 10 and 11 player formation. There's JJ. It's a nice ball to the left side. Tough spin throw. Pulls the first baseman wide, and off to the races they go. Goddard, bad turnaround third, was gonna go home, but that throw offline, big rush there. No chance to get JJ, who reaches second on the error.
And that's a really good example of how solid Shockwave is and how aggressive they are. Many, many runners in that situation would not have thought to immediately turn 2. They prefer to stay on 1, not risk putting themselves in danger with the ball so close. But apparently JJ didn't have any concern about that at all, just turned, fired to second. So we got runners on second and third, no outs, #3 kicker up for Shockwave.
That brings Karan up to face Benz, and he hits with no outs. First pitch, off speed, catches the inside corner, that pitch Patty was telling you about. It clips the inside as it exits for strike 1.
Short pop-up, Binns catches it for the out.
One from Karan, not what he needed.
That's an interesting strategic play right there. In situations like that, sometimes you want to give your three kicker the green light just to kick a run in, but other people will opt to go for the bunt to move the runners, or to load the bases up for the four kicker.
Yeah, very true. Looks like Karan got caught in between those two decisions and pops out to Binns. Kyle, the cleanup kicker for Shockwave, looks at strike one. Binns in a bit of a jam with two speedy Shockwave runners in scoring position. Binns, another duff pitch, does not get the call. That exit bounces too high.
SOFA has adjusted their double crasher situation. Joe Hubbard, the inside crasher, is now standing in right field. Gives some speed and potentially an arm in the outfield for the kick away.
Kyle sits back on that one, but
Does not like the call, but Justin is adamant about it, so
here's a pitch from Binns. Nice ball there. It's a roper. It's a worm burner again. They're not going to get him.
So nobody would have done that.
And
first base Kevin Brooks is recalling the four kicker for Shockwave back to one, saying that he had not made the turn by the time Binns received the ball. So runners on first and third, still one out.
And the RKI for Kyle. That brings up Carlos Isley, the speedy Charger, for Shockwave, who kicks fifth. That first pitch goes right to left and in there for strike one. JJ at third, Kyle at first, and one out for Shockwave, who draws first blood. Shockwave, not like that call. Binns appeared to have one bounce that pitch, but in there for a strike. Sometimes those backspinners can skim the grass. Well, let's go.
Corsi making the run for it, didn't quite able to make it.
He had to protect.
No, Isley protecting, even though his teammates imploring him not to kick the one bounce, but Isley just making sure no Shockwave needs this second run. Isley lays off the inside pitch.
That one cut a little bit too hard and got out of the zone before it crosses the plate.
JJ on third, Kyle on first. Shockwave with one and threatening for more.
Binns catches him with a decent bouncer that comes across the plate kind of high, but still has to swing to protect it. Ends up trying to give it a little punch out into the field, gets a bad foot on it, and squips it back for another foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 fouls, according to home plate ump Justin Emerson.
Here's Binns with a 1-2-2 to Isley.
And that's
Left to right, and Isley reaches for it. Big out for Binns, and Shockwave will have 2 away, and their 6th kicker up.
I need a kicker.
So that brings up Brian No-Shoes Moore, who kicks in a big spot with 2 outs, runners to the corner. Shockwave in line for 2 runs.
Let's see if he can live up to his moniker of on-base machine and kick a run in, or if SOFA will retire the inning.
And appears
One bounce right there.
Another question about a one bounce coming across the plate.
to 1 out the ball, but called strike. And Moore reaches at that one as it comes up, and it's off to the right side for a foul.
Counts 0-1-1. Shockwave looking to do a little bit more damage, SOFA trying to end the inning without too much pain.
Here's the 0-1-1 right to left, and catches the inside corner, and Binns now ahead of Moore. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 foul. Shockwave plated their leadoff runner, Tremaine Goddard. They have their second kicker, JJ, on second, and their cleanup Kyle on first. And Moore double kicks the ball.
Counts now 0-2-2. I don't believe a ball is crossed. So it is
0-2-2.
Binns' world on the mound. See if he
Binns
can.
doing a good job with the spin here, varying speeds, varying release points, and here's a big pitch. Left to right, and Moore stabs up. It's not
over her head.
But as they say in Meme World, it's super effective. That play misses Kyle at third. doesn't have to be pretty, folks. It just has to find a hole, and that's
Let's go,
precisely what Moore did. It'll go in the books as an RKI double, and Shockwave gets their second run. Nice two-out bingo by Shockwave. Speed up front, a little bit of guile in the middle of the lineup. And Shockwave still threatening second and third with 2 away.
Discussion on the sofa bench. They are walking the next kicker to load the bases to create a force at all 4 bags. 3 bags and home plate. Is home plate a bag?
I don't know. I would assume not. I think any base is home plate, but any bag is just first, second, third.
For those paying attention in Southern California, bags, particularly plastic bags, are illegal in most grocery stores and establishments now. We have to go for paper, and they charge us a dime each time. The commie socialist bastards.
But hey, you know, think local act global. Okay, yeah. So Mike walked, Hendu on base, and bases juice for Chuck, the 8 kicker in the Shockwave lineup.
Oh yeah!
Good pitch across the plate. Shane trying to pretend that he doesn't summish into the whole California socialism goodness, but for those also paying attention at home, Shane recently moved to Southern California. He is now one of us.
That's right, one of us. They are chanting by that bonfire they've erected in the outfield.
Finch just misses on the right-hand side of the plate, possibly a bit high as well.
Here's Finn's next delivery from C4. And C4
Oh, yeah!
There's the shot in the air, and a second effort catch. Bounced off of her chest and out of her arms in the initial contact of the ball. Finishes off by chasing it down for the catch. 2 runs. 2 runs plate?
2 runs.
2 runs plate.
Across. We're through 1 inning, and it's Shockwave 2. Sofa 0 and an injured Sofa on the field. Slow to get up. We'll get a check on that as to who that is.
Typically speaking, that's going to be Jimmy Lansing, who does get into cramping issues later in the day when playing for Sofa. For a number of years, one of Sofa's starting crashers, suffering from cramps that late in a tournament day is problematic, which is why Sofa went out and recruited themselves a few more crashers. Ladies and gentlemen, Elliot Hassan, catcher for Sofa King.
It's Hassan.
Elliot Hassan.
It's Hassan. Patty Colehams?
Colehams?
I'm Mustard. I'm Mustard.
Play ball.
Apparently it's difficult to pronounce Elliot's last name. Up to kick, top of the second.
Here's Goddard's first delivery to Hassan, and it's inside for ball 1. Hassan, the Sofa catcher, leads essentially what is a second top of the order, and Hassan lets one go by for strike 1. Shockwave got their 2 runs, but I'm sure C4 would have liked to have that one back. A laser of a shot to center, but nice catch by Sofa to reel it in and
keep the damage to only 2 runs.
Hassan pushes that next one left and foul, and Goddard maybe shooken up by the cramp on the other side, stretches a little bit.
I don't think he was shooken up. I think he knows the camera on him, and he was doing a nice, sexy pose.
Yeah.
It looked very karate, very intimidating. I would not want to kick on him now.
Yeah.
Bringing in the mirror crasher, second base steps up to the encroachment line.
Here's Goddard to Hassan, and Hassan still pushing it just left and foul.
2 fouls, once failing to possibly open up what he does here.
As Patty mentioned, Shockwave crowding the infield, expecting the bunt. Hassan with 2 fouls has got to keep this one between the lines. Here's Goddard's pitch, and that duffer rolls out of his hands the wrong way. Goddard knew it as soon as he released it.
I'd only call that
for a ball.
a semi-duffer. I don't think that was a fully erect duffer, just a semi-wood duffer.
No, it's it's not quite upward enough.
3-1-2.
Clock 3-1-2 to Hassan. A big pitcher on catcher duel to start the top of the second.
Don't, nobody say it, nobody say it! I hate you all! Interrupted pitch, and some jackass in the stands said balk.
3-1-2 is off speed and in there for a strike. No escape here for Hassan. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 fouls. Here's the pitch by Goddard. Hassan changes.
Pops it over the crasher.
Great job, Al!
Great change of tactics by Al. Hassan gets himself a base kick with a line drive looper to left field.
Elliot is good at that left side and is good at reading, particularly if the left fielder is playing a bit too deep. Binns with a beautiful bunt, picked up by the catcher and out. And
but JJ easy out there.
JJ, way to be hard out of the shoes,
So
kid.
Binns with a deep bunt, but no match for JJ. That's an easy equivalent chest pass over to Karan for out number 1.
Danny, you good?
one down. First baseman Ryan Corsi up. Elliot Hassan on second.
Corsi looks at strike 1 on the inside corner.
Just on the edge of the zone, but in there enough to be good.
And Goddard 1 bounces the next pitch to Corsi. The count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hassan on second in scoring position. Nice pitch by Goddard, but it's a 1 bouncer again. Both pitchers working that low spinning motion and sometimes not getting that second bounce.
A little bit of a smirk from the pitcher. He realizes that he's overthrowing it. Let's see what he does with this pitch if he dials it back a little bit, and it's good. 2 bounces before the plate catches the edge. It's good for a strike.
Pitch by Goddard. Huge pitch, hooking left at the end, and Corsi did well to fight that one off.
It's a hard hook to the left, but it looked like it crossed in the zone. If he hadn't gone for that, that would have been a called strike.
Clock 3, 2, 2 and 1 to Corsi.
Came in
Foul
foul.
outside. It looks like the call is foul outside the cones. Corsi commits late, protecting the outside corner, lunges for it, but just gets the ball fair to the right of the foul cone behind the plate.
Anything close, protect it.
Corsi protecting the outside part of that strike zone. Goddard's going to try to blow one by there. It's over the plate, and it's a line drive right to Isley. He scoops it up on the second bounce. And Lewis makes it easy. 2 away. Hassan rather, to third.
Looks like Evan Hassan, Elliot's brother, checking in. Oh, check that. Ah. Not exactly sure what's going on there. Amy Partovich almost walked, but confusion as to the lineup. Realized that they did not wish to walk her. So, Amy Partovich for Sofa. Coming up to kick with a runner on third, 2 outs. Possibility to score here if she can get one to land and make it safely to base. That should bring Elliot home.
A big spot for Pardo. As she looks at strike 1 on the inside part of the strike zone. And Sofa late, kicking straight ahead on those right to left pitches, and that's generally where they're going to add.
Cutting hard foul on the left side.
So Sofa's got to get this break red because there's that big hook on those fastballs from Goddard. This one, no spin on it, and Mach 3 wisely changes location and delivery points. This one, a 1 bounce fastball.
Good job, Pardo.
Ed? Nobody said at that time on the interrupted pitch.
And here's Mach 3 again. Nice pitch,
Yanked
and
up.
Partovich is only able to poke at it. And Shockwave retires the side.
So going into the second inning, bottom of the second, I believe. Yes, that sounds right. Or is it? Justin, what inning is it?
Bottom of the second.
It's going into the bottom of the second.
2-0.
2-0. Shockwave's still up. I'm unfortunately drinking Miller Lite, which is claimed to be a fine Pilsner beer, but it's not nearly as good as the Coors I had earlier.
Yeah.
Which beer am I supposed to like? What's our national tour sponsor on beers? Do we have one?
Traveler Beer.
Traveler Beer. Where is the
Conference
Somebody
sponsor.
needs to bring me some Traveler Beer or some Fireball.
Yeah, that's why we need East Coast teams. They could have brought the Traveler Beer with them. We're almost a third of the way done here at beautiful Marina Vista Park. Shockwave, the 1 seed, ahead of Sofa King Good. 2 runs to nothing. Here is Benz.
That is not a bunt. That was, in fact, the catcher returning the ball to the field. Called for a strike. Benz catching the quarter of the plate again.
Benz knows he's got to keep these speedy and strong Shockwave kickers off balance during spins and release points. Here goes and gets that one, and nice catch in the outfield.
I believe that looks like Leah out there.
Leah Leverington with a
Now,
nice...
if I can't see it from here, then you guys certainly can't see it on the camera, but that was Leah. Fun fact, Leah likes to eat orange rinds. She recognizes that it has more nutritional value than the orange itself, so if ever you eat an orange, give the peels to her because she will eat them.
That's orange. That's orange zest from the source.
A little bit of a position change for Sofa in this inning. We've got Joe Hubbard now in center field. Devin Edwards is playing the inside crasher to Kevin Campbell's outside crasher. Foul ball off to the side. Max gets involved in the game and picks it up and fires it back to Benz.
Danny Honeymaker struggling with Ben's pitch here. High pitch, Danny gets it down the first baseline. Oh, Ben's with a bobble. And the Honeymaker will eat. Danny aboard.
It's entirely possible Ben's got a little thrown off by how quick she came down the line, and thus rushed fielding the ball, did not get a good hand on it, didn't even make the play to 1. 1 out, runner on first.
It's kind of a badge of honor, Shockwave. So many leg injuries to Shockwave. They all wear that super brace, and they are all blazingly fast. So Danny takes advantage of the Ben's miscue, and she is aboard. That brings up the cagey veteran, John DeMattis.
Back from retirement with attempted a ripping low liner on the third base side. Word has it he's actually played 3 kickball games this year, which is a new record for him in the past 4 years.
Mattis, a proud papa, just misses on that line drive. Ben severely tries to duff that pitch and misses badly on the outside for ball 1.
And gives away his hand by saying ugh as it left his hand.
Still trying to duff that pitch, knowing DeMattis is trying for the fly ball. Kevin's going to tag and thinks better of it. DeMattis loses that psychological battle as Benz wisely brings the height of his pitch up, making it harder to kick, and DeMattis retired for out number 1.
I believe it's out number 2.
Out number 2.
Yeah, first one was the fly ball to Leah in right field. Pitch that didn't look off speed on the release, but ended up crawling across the plate for a strike. For those who are watching, if the camera is shaking at all, you need to blame that on Shane's dog, who is laying right at the base of the tripod and is occasionally rolling over to show her belly, thus causing a little bit of shake in the image.
PB is our doggy speak commentator.
And she's thoroughly bored by the game, as I don't think she's lifted her head once. One's across, 2 down.
Here we go, Benz versus Playmaker with one's across, and that one clips the plate for strike 2, 2 bounces. 1, 2, and 1. So 2 away, the ladies of Shockwave trying to make some noise. They will also try to do that again as the Shockwave Honeys at our Sunday tournament for the ladies. Here's Benz's pitch. And bad windup. You saw the release opening up. That one misses inside.
Behind the pitch, catches it pour off the foot, shoots foul off to the right-hand side.
1-2. You like to hear that Shockwave sideline loose. They are laughing. They are enjoying their inaugural trip out west. West Coast kickball, and they're trying to do some damage with their ladies in the bottom of the second. Here's the 2-1-2. Nice ball, but it's right
Kevin
to the
Edwards
Chargers.
picks it up, fires it to Corsi for the out, and he throws first to third after there are 3 outs. Perhaps out of instinct, perhaps because he's a show-off, perhaps he just felt the need to loosen his arm up a little bit.
So the supernumerary put-out calisthenic aside, Shockwave strands their runner, strands Turner after
Hey,
that.
back the fuck up. Did you just use the word supernumerary?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a college professor as a co-commentator.
Law school professor,
Law-
and don't you forget.
Oh, I'm sorry. College and law school are not the same thing. It's like when you call it
Yes.
an MD, a PhD, or a PhD and MD. They get very offended. It doesn't change the fact that they're all insufferable know-it-alls who sit around and think better of
The
themselves.
JD is just a bachelor's degree with more BS.
Did you learn that in your first year of law school?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I just came up with that. You know, got to come up with that new material for that new student body. I don't know.
Shane
And I'm
Dizon, one of the quickest wits in the game of kickball. And consider that it is me saying that. Evan Hassan, played with these guys for 4 or 5 years, and I still don't know how to pronounce their last names.
So
But-
Hassan looks at ball badly inside from Goddard for ball 1.
That one catches the, well, not even catches the corner. That was right smack in the zone.
Lock 3 rolling. Here's the 1-1. Changes it up and underhand Keith Whiting type delivery right over the plate.
It's entirely possible that the more strikes Shockwave gets on a kicker, the more the second girl at second base dances. It's
Yeah. Riding, tough play for Isley. Nice throw across his body. Made it closer than it needed to be, but a good ball by Hassan. Tough speed, and he is aboard to start
catches their
half of the sofa.
catches their crasher sleeping just a little bit, but also has enough speed to get down there. Beat the throw out by a step or two. Looks like Sofa is stepping in to do some subbing. Not exactly sure what the subbing maneuver is, but it did give me the chance to say the word maneuver and pronounce it very strange.
Here you go.
Tyler Granlund, everyone, one of the co-captains of Sofa, and according to the leg band, the official captain of the day. Danger watches an inside strike.
So Granlund uses one of the substitutions to sub himself out. This is a bunting situation, and Danger is coming in. Foul ball by Danger. This is a good speed versus speed matchup.
JJ clearly has no problem committing, even on a clear foul ball. He tackles the living hell out of it, trying to make the play on it.
JJ made possibly at Turkey Cup the best spin throw I have ever seen in a competitive kickball game.
Danger, the great little popper, but picked off at 1, trying for the slide. Dangerously catching the inside base. 1 down. Devin Edwards, better known as Snuggles, coming up to kick for Sofa with 1 out, runner on second. Devin Edwards, nicknamed Snuggles, very early on in his kickball career by a team that realized just how stupidly adorable he is. And he also makes your clothes wonderfully soft if you throw them in the dryer. And he is walked. Shockwave clearly believing that Snuggles is far too cute to pitch to, gives him the free base to 1, 1 down. Runners on first and second. Leah for Sofa up to kick.
She can kick.
A little bit of a shuffle. Center field coming into second base shifting out to right center.
The interesting what Leverton tries to do here, first and second, 1 out.
She does have a leg.
Couple of options here. They try to get her down 1, but Leverton can kick. They may try to steal a gap.
And given the shot and
that's
picked off
what
by
she
the...
tried to do.
Way to go, T.
That's exactly what Leverton tried to do. Great contact on the ball, but sometimes it's just right to someone. Nice play by Goddard. And
I think I gotta question your police work there, Lou. That was not right to him. We do need to recognize Tremaine made a hell of an athletic play, leaping full extension to grab the ball. Now, granted, if he hadn't got it, the gentleman at second base certainly could have picked it up and possibly even into a double play situation. But that was no gimme for Tremaine, and he made a hell of a play on it.
Can't fault Leverton for the kick. It had good pace in the right spot. But Danny Brock-Turner scoops up that loop and pop fly. It just got too much air under it, and Sofa squanders their chance with a runner in scoring position again. They're not going to get many more against this Shockwave team. So through 2.5 complete, it is still Shockwave 2, Sofa King Good 0. We head to the home half of the third for the purple and neon yellow, and let's see
Other than possibly a half-assed commentary from Brian No Shoes on Base Machine Moore, I've not gotten confirmation from anybody on the Shockwave squad if they have in fact, or if they did indeed base their color scheme off of the Transformer from the 1980s cartoons, whose name was Shockwave. He was purple, he had a glowing yellow eye. And regardless of what they say, that is what I will perpetually believe happened. Shane, I will let you take over the play call for this half inning as I step away from the fielders who are playing and have myself a cigarette.
All right. Thank you, Patty Cullum, best researcher, color man in the business, and we'll resume play here. And Ben's on Lynn to start the bottom of the third. Ben's, for the most part, doing a great job of getting that spin to get the Shockwave pitchers to reach. Here's the pitch from Ben's to Boogie. It is inside. A little bit more dying velocity than Ben's wanted, and that one scoots off to the left, misses the corner. And here's a kick from Lynch. He stabs at it. Ben's is going to go grab it, calls everyone off, and that pop fly is out number one. Oh, sorry. Tish comes to the dish against Benz with one away in the bottom of the third. And first pitch is nice right to left. Hooking screwball for strike one. Here's Benz with a fastball, and it's right back to him. Easy put out 1-3. Benz to Corsi, and quickly 2 away for D'Lo. Shockwave still keeping it loose, keeping it light. D'Lo gonna try to extend the Shockwave home half of the third. Benz is dealing, retiring the first 2 Shockwavers in order. Buena Vista Park. Again, a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We're glad you are here with us watching on the Kickball 365 YouTube channel. I know a lot of us would like to be on the live stream, but that app eats battery like you wouldn't believe. Ben's nice screwball gets that right to left motion quickly ahead of Diallo for strike one. Elvis shredded very wide in the outfield. 3 outfielders. Diallo pushes one foul to the left side. Against this Shockwave defense, the 2 runs they put up may be good, but Shockwave knows anything can happen. They're going to try to put up more as Sofa caught in the middle of an outfield switch while Ben's winding up, and he has to reset. Here's Ben's with a pitch. This one. Ben's with the first pitch that was too high, and the second pitch, however, dives in there for a strike. Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah. So Ben's the next pitch to Diallo. Misses on the inside.
2-2-1.
So Ben's roughly even to Diallo. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 foul. Gallo Suttersteff thinks about it, gets it, but a nice catch. Great catch by Sofa, and Sofa retires the Shockwave lineup in order.
A catch by Joey Lucas, Max's sister. They had a brief moment on the sideline with Max congratulating his sister with a hell of a running catch, and it looked like even one of those catches that knocked her around a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, her head was tilted back when she caught it, not from missing the ball, but or from losing track of it, but just the sheer impact of the ball upon her wee little body.
The little corrections that by Diallo may have hurt him there was good contact, but maybe not enough velocity to get it past Joey Lucas. We're halfway done here at Buena Vista Park, Field 1. Shockwave still on top, 2-0. The 1 seed coming into the tournament, the 1 seed coming out of pool play. They had, by all accounts, the easier side of the bracket in a limb. Sofa has had to scrape and claw its way back to these finals, and they are trying their best to hang tough with the 2-time circuit champions on tour this year.
After ending the inning, Joey Lucas is now up to kick. And the pitch is just wide. Remains not entirely sure that it was just wide.
Goddard misses the inside. Here's the 1-0.
That one catches the zone without any trouble.
See how Goddard changed his delivery there a little bit more busboy, took away the side spin that made that first pitch inside.
Having seen one strike on that area and one ball in that area, Joey lets a second ball go by that was just outside, or inside.
Here's the 2-1 from Goddard, and
Outside.
Lucas thinks about it, lays off. Goddard has to crack a smile there. He is trying the corners. He knows he's got that pitch in the past. Here's the 3-1. This one an off speed. If ever there were a pitch to drive, that was it, but instead Goddard gets it past for strike 2.
Also off speed, gets the shot high to left field, and caught.
Danny Brock Turner turning it up once again.
Needs to be noted that she did cross through a little bit of shade to make that catch, but for the most part she was looking at the sun. Catching the high ball in the sun this late in the day, it's a solid play.
Danny making it look easy with one away.
Leadoff kicker Joe Hubbard back up at the plate, takes a called strike. Just foul on the left-hand side. Joe Hubbard goes by the nickname Ninjo due to the fact that he will occasionally lay out flat in the air while firing a chest pass to first base. Not dissimilar to the play that JJ made on him at the top of the game.
There's Hubbard, looks at one on the inside corner in there for a strike.
Nice bunt down the line. JJ gets the ball, fires it, but Hubbard does beat it out and is continuing to run to the parking lot, ratcheting down the speed after going full bore through first. Not always the easiest thing to do.
Hubbard pumped off with one out. He is on board.
Murph takes a called strike directly across the center of the plate. Good bunt, picked up by the crasher, fired. Murph does beat it out. Hubbard bites back, gets caught, and is... That's some very good head work by the first baseman of Shockwave right there. Joe Hubbard makes an aggressive turn rather than simply firing it to third to protect the runner from going to third. First baseman for Shockwave takes a few steps, fires the ball to the player at second base for the tag to get Joe Hubbard out. 2 down, runner on first. Much, much different than 1 out, runners on first and second.
Heads up, and a heads-up play by Perron at first base. Hubbard certainly was not expecting the throw back to second, got caught napping. Shockwave too efficient, too fast, and Hubbard closed at second. That was a big one.
Certainly breaks the script of the throw from 1 to 3 by taking a look.
And Goddard, not sure what he was doing there, probably too much busboy, released the pitch and just curved the palm up at the end, and that one misses by time. That's more like it. Fast cut fastball by Goddard in there for strike 1.
Number 3 kicker for Sofa, Drew Thomas, up to kick.
And Goddard's cut fastball is humming, but one bounces out 1 and outside 2. Goddard pitches it off, duffs the pitch, and still outside. Goddard is firing them in there, not wasting much time. Got to be a little bit careful he doesn't give the meat of the Sofa lineup the runner on second. A little less there, Drew. Drew wanted all that one, but hooks that one foul to the left side. There's Murph on first. Hubbard was posed at second. So Sofa with 2 outs in their top half of the 4th.
Drew with a solid shot to left field. Bounced off of the left fielder into the hands of the center fielder who came over to back her up. 3rd out, 1 runner stranded. A solid kick by Drew, but not quite far enough to burn anybody.
So Danny with a nice effort on the left center field for Shockwave, just like the motto says for that team. I've got your back, and that's what they have as Shockwave retired. What started as a promising top half of the 4th, but ends with no runs.
Clearly a solid amount of teamwork from this Shockwave squad. Everybody is playing together and comfortable with one another, to be able to back each other up, to be able to make a typically aggressive throw to second from first on a bit of an over round.
Shockwave makes those two plays look natural, both that gun out, that assist at second, as well as that back up in left center. This team has played with each other for so long, their core has been so consistent, and they make the unexpected look very ordinary a lot of the time.
New catcher in for Sofa. It looks like Joe Hubbard is behind the plate, filling in for Elliott.
Shockwave will get what they want in the bottom of the fourth. The hits may, hopefully for them, keep on coming as their leadoff faces Binns. Binns with a 1 bounce, and Mach 3 quickly ahead at 1-0.
Seems to be some discussion as to who's actually supposed to be backstopping that, but it didn't get to the street and nobody got hit by a car, which I call that a win.
So it's a good day. Cue the ice cream. And that one misses inside. Binns loses velocity sooner than he'd liked, and it falls off to the left.
Not sure if the velocity was due to too much spin or if Binns is starting to feel a tad gassed. We'll see with subsequent pitches.
Binns will duff that pitch, and nice touch by Tremaine Goddard, but it gets fair just left of the cone.
Let's go, Joe.
Goddard will take a spell before stepping back in with Binns. Binns does the same, and here's the pitch. Oh, hybrid pitch by Binns. Starts off as a duff move and then switches to a cut fastball finish. Nice pitch from Binns in there for a strike.
Certainly something of an off-speed fastball. Wasn't in coming in super fast. It's possible that Tremaine was a little bit ahead of it. That's why he chose to lay off of it.
Encroachment is the call on Silverking, that double crasher, and it looks like third base ref Andy Bueller.
Looks like the encroachment was called on 2 different players. One of the crashers, not sure whether it was Kevin Campbell or Devin Edwards, but also the pitcher David Binns, potentially
Crossing his foot over that rubber.
Plant foot a little bit too far across the line.
Here's JJ, who looks at strike 1 on the inside part of the zone.
JJ's jersey says humble and has the number 4.3, which I'm a fan of anyone who has a decibel in their jersey number.
In that case, it's probably his 40 time, and I would not be surprised if that was in fact JJ's 40 time.
I would make a joke that perhaps that's his height, 4 foot 3 inches, but he's not actually that short, and short people don't like it when you make fun of the fact that they're short.
They tend to throw you out really, really quickly. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. JJ pushes that one off to the right side. Goddard, the leadoff kicker for Shockwave.
It could indeed be his 40-yard dash time, but I think it's a much more interesting narrative that that's his height.
It's 4.3.
JJ, if you...
pseudo feet, maybe?
JJ with the bunt.
That means
Campbell eats it, realizing he does not have the time. JJ, if you do ever watch this video, please don't kick my ass for implying that you're short. Because from where I'm sitting, you're actually not that short. He's perfectly normal sized.
JJ, compact swing, just puts the ball in play, and most of the time for this Shockwave top of the order, that's enough. So they have first and second, and Karan be up next. Gets one up the right side, does his job, sacrifice. Hubbard to Corsi, and one away. Shockwave once again in line 4-2 in their home half of the fourth.
Notably, he seems to be the only player on Shockwave whose jersey number is 3 digits, 100, 100.
No, I think there are a couple more. I think there's.
You are right. There's a 343. Strange numbers from the Shockwave crew.
Yeah, but I guess I'm sure that no one duplicates their numbers. So good strategy, and we aren't regulating it. So number away.
Well, and considering how well they are on the field, who are we to make fun of their numbers?
It could be I squared for all I care.
I squared?
Yeah.
Most people go pi squared.
Yeah.
You know why most people go pi squared? Because people know pi. Nobody knows the number I. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got a PhD and he teaches our future. Shane Dizon, everyone.
Yeah. No child left behind. Nice.
Corsi with the catch. Line drive.
Kyle Sale's back in the box. A lot of kickers will do that. The problem is if that pitch comes in hot, it kills your momentum. So Kyle just picks at that one, not much on it, doesn't get out of the infield. Nice pitch by Vince, nice catch by his defense.
Kicker is walked, bringing up Brian No Shoes on base machine Moore.
So that's Isley, who is the recipient of that intentional pass. It'll be Goddard on third, JJ on second, Isley on first. First pitch by Vince, high bouncing and inside.
Fun fact, Brian Moore played on the notable Availables team 3 Hours Ahead in Best of the West 3 years ago.
Yes, he did.
Won that squad. Was on the squad that won that tournament. And I believe was Demanis on that one as well.
Mattis was on that one. Yours truly was on that one.
So if Demanis and No Shoes win this tournament, we're never going to hear the end of it from either of them talking about how good they are in Long Beach, making the insufferable more insufferable. Kickball 365. The circuit.
There's Benz with a nice pitch that catches the outside part of the strike zone to Moore. 1-1-1. It'll be ones across again. Goddard on third, JJ on second, Isley on first. Here's Moore.
There's the shot. Kevin Campbell goes down on his knees to catch the ball. That's not a euphemism. He actually had to fall to his knees to make the catch. 4-3 outs, no damage. Shockwave in a hell of a strong scoring situation was not able to plate any runs.
So big inning for Sofa King Good. Shockwave in line for 2 and they cannot convert. That should give Sofa some confidence as they head to the top half of the 5th inning. It is still Shockwave 2, Sofa King Good 0.
Third base ump Andy Bueller coming to confer with Justin Anderson. Andy Bueller wearing an extraordinarily xenophobic t-shirt. Some would say it's patriotic. It's kind of a dick shirt. For those who can't see it, it's a great big American flag that says back-to-back World War champs. Real classy there, Bueller.
Folks, America. It's here and apparently it's roughing third base.
Jimmy Lansing, the 4 kicker, Sofa leading off this inning.
First pitch from Goddard to Lansing is in there for strike 1. Fastball, rolling motion, and Lindsay has to clip it to the right side for a foul ball.
Come on.
Catches his back foot on the bounce. 2 fouls, 1 strike, no balls.
Bob is dealing, expect a little bit of a chunk pitch here. He might test the zone, might try to get Lindsay to reach and protect. Just want a rolling fastball, clips the inside part of the zone for strike 2.
2-2. Jimmy seems to have been given the green light from the sidelines to do whatever he needs to do to get on base. Takes a shot.
1 out. Take it, head up, head up.
And pushes it to the left. So Lindsay retired on the foul out by Goddard. That is his first strike/foul out of the game.
Campbell with a strange bunt up one, and
Goddard unassisted the first pitch.
decided to try a foot race against Campbell and clearly won by a couple of steps.
So other than the bottom of the first for Shockwave, a very quiet game offensively. Hope those of you who stopped over in Vegas picked the under. Goddard going to step out for a second before dealing to Elliot Hassan. That first pitch, 1 bounces, ball 1. Hassan tries to kick that pitch, but like the bad golf drive, duffs it about 4 inches behind the ball.
Putting it into the sand trap or water hazard?
Well, as long as he replaces it. Goddard falls down on that one, trying to turn that ball over with the duff delivery, and Hassan hooks that one foul to the left side.
Ball came in a little bit slower than Elliott was expecting. This came out in front of it a little bit more than he liked. He does like the left side of his kickaways, but was a bit too early on that one. Hit it early and sent it into foul territory on the left side.
That left side has not been a gimme. Danny has made some spectacular catches again, as Hattie mentioned, despite the long shadows in left field here at Buena Vista Field 1. Nice fastball
Hop
by
up.
Goddard.
Discussion on the inside and caught by the second base woman for Shockwave, who takes a moment from Dancing with the Stars to catch a kickball that is kicked near her.
Shockwave still winning with lightness, still winning with dancing. So far, so good. As we move to the bottom of the fifth, it is still Shockwave 2, Sofa King 0. Shockwave got there too in the bottom of the first. That's been all the scoring for today, and frankly, given the defensive clinic Shockwave has put on, that has been enough so far. But Shockwave, hungry and looking to get some insurance here in the bottom of the fifth, knowing they have 3 outs in the top of the sixth to put this championship in the books. It would be their 3rd of the tour year.
And will this be their first out of region?
It will be their first out of region. Well, actually, their tournaments have been, their tournament wins have been in Jacksonville in the South region.
Okay.
And at Harrisburg in the East region.
Oh yeah.
Nice throw by Hendy, but better play by Hassan. Great spin throw.
Elliott waits for the ball to cut through the box, making sure it goes fair, then picks it up with Shane's aforementioned spin throw. Great fire to Corsi for 1 out.
Catcher patience very important as Benz will step in under C4, but before that, Silva's going to do a crasher to right field switch. Now it looks like a triple switch here. They're going to vacate the inside crasher position.
Catcher patience is dangerous with the Shockwave squad. As has been noted multiple times, they're just so goddamn fast.
A good crowd watching on both sidelines at Field 1, but they haven't had much to cheer about from an offensive perspective because there hasn't been many.
I believe most of the runs were scored on Brian No Shoes on Base Machine Moore's 2 RKI double in the first inning.
That's correct. That's all the offense we've seen. Necessary, dangerous moment there. Thankfully, C4 doesn't pick up an injury. Tough one there, but fouls it off to the left.
I'll tell you what, every sphincter on the sidelines clenched, waiting for his ankle to buckle, but he gets up and walks it off without any trouble. Clearly the man is something of a beast.
Finn's next delivery to C4. Sailing pitch is 1 bounced and sent outside. Vince tries to duff it. C4 gets it down. Slow play by Vince. Nice stretch, but pulled off. He didn't quite have control.
C4 just makes it to the bag in time. Both Corsi and Binns picking themselves up off the ground after a hell of a play. But
Vince needs to be about 2 steps quicker on that one. Champ runs that one out and is on there with an infield single. Mir, who had the unorthodox but nevertheless spectacular outfield assist to deny Sofa a run, and now hits.
a beautiful bunt up the line and finally rolls out fair. Got about halfway up the line, on the line, before it decided it didn't want to be a fair ball and rolled out to the left.
That's what happens when you give those pesky circuit balls free will, Patty.
It's gone to shit since we give them the circuit ball free will. Thus the circuit ball can sin.
Well, at least they don't warp like they did last year. Next try by Mirren. Tornado about 20 miles to the west. A lot of whiff wind on that one.
Waiting to hear if the call was a strike or a foul. There may have been contact. We are not sure. Justin does call it a foul ball. There was a tiny, tiny tick of contact.
Samir Osman's gonna plea with 365 to take that one off the YouTube broadcast.
But I think he'll be okay with it. He's chuckling at himself, which is the sign of a good human being who can laugh at his own mistakes. Or perhaps he's blaming the sinful, sinful kickball. And it's free will.
Samir
Good
makes up.
shot to Joey Lucas, looking to second base, does not field the ball in. Loses the ball in the crossover, not able to fire it off to Pardo for the force out at 2. No play, runners on first and second.
So Champ on second. Osman on first after that meme-worthy snafu, redeems himself, picks himself up. And Danny looks at strike one on the outside part of the zone. Shockwave did not get that run across when they were in line for 2 in the bottom of the 4th, threatening here in the bottom of the 5th.
L has a bit of difficulty returning the ball to Binns, ends up throwing it the kicker's shins. Solid bunt up one for the sack.
Hey, Danny! Way to get there!
A little bit of traffic and communication issues. And he's safe at one. Bases are loaded
For DeMattis.
for DeMattis. Once again, not what Kickball 365 wants, because honestly, we do not like to give the loud, obnoxious blowhards any more ammunition to justify their loud, obnoxious blowhardedness.
Mattis making his case for the old timers game. Hopes to pull an Eddie Harris and throw another piece of junk at Binns' pitch, but Shockwave, the base is loaded.
Notably, Johnny might be one of the few people on the field older than me, and you. Takes his shot, fires it over first base. Beautiful. Picked up. It's going to be worth at least one run, and they're making the play. Second, 2 runs across.
Holy Stromboli, the old man gets a single. Two RKI poke job, and Joe Boo with the point. 2 runs are in. Shockwave has their insurance. They lead 4-0.
Despite the fact that he has his team on one sideline and the enemy's team on the other, so the opponent's team on the other sideline, he still chooses to make contact with the announcers to say, "See, I fucking told you so."
Still doing it. Us old folks can't rely on speed. It's got to be location. That location perfect. Nice ball by playmaker, but gets fair just outside the cone. Nice contact.
She kind of disagrees with that as well.
Read that pitch all along. Did the playmaker, but just pushed it fair outside that cone. A Shockwave with 2 in this bottom half of the 5th inning and threatening 4 more.
Runners on first and third. I believe only 1 out.
That's correct. And opposite foot kick.
Got 2 fouls. Look for a possible choice change on how she puts the foot to the ball.
So Rowe, the playmaker, another one of our triple-digited Shockwave numbers.
843. Can I tell you what that is?
And gonna try to get the 5th run in. She's got Danny on third and DeMattis on first. Shockwave again with 1 out.
Out. 2 out.
Don't know if that was a misplace or a missed foot on the ball, but pops a foul on the right-hand side for the 2nd out.
Then comes up, it's going to try to extend the Shockwave bid for insurance runs. And looks at a slow swing screwball for strike 1.
Been a while since we've seen Binns throw some heat. I'm wondering if he's getting physically tired.
That one looks like a frustration pitch. That misses badly inside. That head's nowhere pointed towards home plate and the result an inside pitch. Binns corrects that motion but pushes one on the duff pitch to the outside, and then with some life here, it's likely she'll get something over the plate this time around. She does, but it's a high pitch, and Lynn unfortunately leaves her feet, clips the top of that one, and sails right over that pitch for a foul ball.
Nickname on the back of his shirt is Boogie,
I believe
and which is certainly more politically correct than Booger. But if I ever get a nickname on the back of my shirt, perhaps I will have it Booger as well.
So Lynn, smart location there, trying to put it to third. Almost actually hits her teammate Danny charging in from home. But no harm, no foul. Lynn's going to get to try it again. Hard duff pitch from Binns. It is one contacted easy play. Binns, of course.
Top 6, 4-0.
Shockwave gets 2 more. They get their insurance and are 3 outs away from their 3rd circuit title and 4th major on the year. Shockwave again has won the Jacksonville Kickball Open. They have won at the Pennsylvania Kickball Classic. They took down the Chocolate City Kickball Classic. They are 3-time champions of that tournament. Well, hungry for a 4th.
And Shane, as long as we're talking about old things, let us not forget that last year in 2013, they, I believe, were the runners-up at the Circuit Championship in New Orleans.
Yes, indeed, an epic game of the meatballs. The game that wouldn't end. It went 9 innings, and
last time I checked, this was kickball, not baseball.
Yeah, well, we went the full 9, and that made the second consecutive year in Circuit Cup. We went to extra innings. Can't wait to see what we'll have in store for you in San Antonio.
It's a good sign for Circuit when those kind of games are happening because it is showing a little bit of parity and balance amongst the teams. Shows that it can be anybody's ball game, so long as those anybody's are the likes of Shockwave or Meatballs or OSC or Situation or Sofa or, you know.
Exactly.
Nevertheless.
Exactly. So it's a pitcher-on-pitcher matchup to start the top of the 6th.
A ball and a strike. Binns take a 1 bouncer for his first pitch, and then the second pitch that came in caught the inside corner. Binns with almost a worm burner, and go for the relay. Relay gets missed, and Binns gets the stand-up double on an error by Shockwave. I tell you what,
Come on, nothing crazy.
if Sofa needed anything to get sparked up in the top of this 6th inning at the end of the game, that was it. Leadoff double by Binns certainly does well. Tyler talking with
We might have to step out for a second, see if the extension gives Binns more room.
there will be some discussion as to whether or not the overthrow holds him at second or moves him all the way to third. Some discussion about it.
If you're looking for the rule, folks, that was technically an overthrow because they did try to get him at first. So the only decision is whether the runner was between first and second at the time of the overthrow. Sofa contending that this enables them to get as many bases as they're allowed to get had there not been the out of play. But that is in fact not the rule. Once the overthrow is triggered, this rule does not occur.
And even though Shockwave players did run after the ball, it was not picked up and brought back into play.
We need a play on a player or base to remove that overthrow restriction, but otherwise it is 1 base on an overthrow, and a ball that goes out of play or is made unplayable does not increase that base award. It just makes it automatic.
Nevertheless, top of the 6th inning, no outs. David Binns on second base for Sofa. Ryan Corsi up.
Nice pitch, Steve.
First pitch is a strike. Second pitch, he fouls off on the left-hand side, aiming for the bunt up the third base line.
Let's get out.
You know, looking back on this kicking game, you'll wonder why more people did not try to go back up the middle and use all that speed on Goddard's pitches to get line drives, as Corsi has to matrix his way away from that pitch. A 1 bouncer.
Particularly watching how well the infield has played for Shockwave and the type of not great bunts.
Out. He took a high step. That high step's the killer, folks. That last step to first base from a physics perspective, always slower and very pronounced. Corsi trying to reach for it, but it slows his forward velocity, and he is out by a clear step. Nice play
Forget about the runner
by
on third.
Goddard
Just
to
get an out.
Perron. Mattis exhorting his Shockwave teammates to ignore the lead runner. They just need the runner at the dish.
Pardo misses the bunt, fouls it off to the left-hand side. Again, trying for that third base line.
Pardo hits to the left side. Nice play by Los. It's an easy
Way to get
spin.
the out. Don't worry about
And
it.
Binns crosses the plate,
You're out, guys. One more
getting
out.
Sofa on the board.
Carlos, great play. Very smart.
Smart play goes Isley to Perron for out number 2, but give part of it to the RKI, getting Binns the leadoff runner home.
Evan and Tyler discussing the play. Evan lets the first pitch. Cut to the inside for a called ball.
Here's the 1-0 from Goddard. This one fastball down the middle.
A little bunt, but again, JJ slurps it up, fires it.
Throw by JJ to throw across the diamond to Lynn, and Shockwave, champions on the circuit again. They defeat Sofa King 4 runs to 1. Thanks for sticking around with us at Kickball 365. A quick thank you to our sponsors. Savage, the Ultimate Apparel Company. Advantage Rent-A-Car, our regional sponsors, Traveler Beer and Reliable
Let me say
Paper.
Fireball Whiskey. I want to say
Fireball
Fireball. I get to say Fireball Whiskey, damn you.
That's
Fireball Whiskey. It's tasty and delicious. And it has a little devil on it, I think.
Tastes like heaven, burns like hell. Fireball Whiskey, our national sponsor, our referee sponsor. Well fought, well contested, well spirited game between Shockwave and Sofa. Well fought game by both teams, but Shockwave clearly the better team in this championship game and on the day. Shockwave unbeaten, unblemished, 7-0, and your Best of the West 2014 kickball champion.